Greetings, everyone. Hope all of you are having an absolutely fantastic day. Let's get right back into Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, and there's a huge new update, lots of fantastic content. Can't wait to dive into it with you all. First and foremost, let's just get this out of the way. The release date is officially September 2nd. I know that's going to be disappointing for a lot of you. You were expecting it to come out in June, but I'm going to be honest. I've played through the beta up to Act 4. This game needs the time. So we should be thankful. We have seen time and time again where companies knew their game was trash, knew that it had a bunch of bugs and problems going on in it, and they just released it to us anyway and figured they'd spend a couple of months patching it and everything would be okay. Owlcat is doing everything in their power to provide us with a complete product, and I appreciate it, frankly. I was definitely one of those people. We're not going to mention specific games, but I've had that experience of really, really looking forward to a game and it finally coming out and feeling like this game is incomplete. So I'm glad they're pushing it back. Very, very glad. With all that being said, let's get into some of this new content. First and foremost, character creation has received a lot of updates. The tutorials are much better. I think new players are really, really going to appreciate it. I have horrible memories of playing Kingmaker for the first time, thinking that I understood the system, starting up the game, and realizing a couple of hours in, okay, clearly I've done something wrong. So I think absolutely for people who are trying to create their classes and figure out of the hundreds of options available what to do, these tutorials are much clearer, they're improved, and it's going to help those players a lot. There are new portraits and some additional classes on top of the massive list that have been added, and some of them are actually race specific. There's one race specific class in particular I absolutely will do a playthrough on YouTube for. So looking forward to that as soon as I finish the current one that I'm in. New pets have also been added, so you can have a Triceratops or a Velociraptor, or both, if you have two people on your team who are both able to pick those pets. Not all classes get access to the full list of pets, so just be careful about that. For example, when I picked my pet for Sela, I still had to go with the saber-tooth tiger. Those two were not an option, but they're absolutely fantastic additions. I played with both of them for multiple hours, and there's no drop off in effectiveness. They're great to have running around. It's a little weird to have the Triceratops in your throne room or war room or whatever you call it. It takes up a lot of space, but other than that, it's great. It's great. It's all fantastic. The interface has also gotten a makeover along with the armor and weapons that you'll pick up over the course of the game. It all looks significantly better. I'm really, really like what I've seen so far, especially the heavy armors. So definitely looking forward to more of what they do. There's some degree of voice acting now in the game. Not all of the game is voice acted, but when you're in important story beats, especially ones that involve multiple party members, you will sometimes hear their voices. And what's really cool to me as well is even like regular guards with no name have a voice. So I think Owlcat is working towards everybody who speaks in the game having a voice of some sort, which would be really, really cool. New quests have been added to the game and our romance for Darren, that even though we knew he could be romanced before the update, the content wasn't in the game, so that's been added in now for those of you who are interested. Crusader battles are much better. I would say they're probably a little too easy, so they need to be balanced a little bit better, but it was kind of a chore before the update. And now with the visual upgrades and some of the changes and how the generals level up, they level up much more often now. I feel like it's really a better system overall, and I actually look forward to the Crusader battles, whereas before I was just trying to get them out of the way. Honestly, Crusader mechanics in general, now that there's more of it, it looks fantastic. The throne room, again, for lack of a better word, where you make all your decisions regarding how the crusade deals with, crusaders who are unlawful, or how do you build your trade routes and things of that nature. The stuff that goes into that, I'm actually really, really enjoying the dialogue back and forth between your different advisors and trying to figure out what is the best decision and looking at how mechanically it affects your crusade. I like it. I think it's all great. And for right now, at least, there isn't the huge time crunch that Kingmaker had. So it allows you to really sit back, think this through, and try to figure out what do I really want to do. And I think it so far it works really, really well. And then finally, one of the things that I'm really excited about from this update, Act 4 can be streamed. So I will be able to go further in my playthrough than I was able to do as a Lich. And I'm really looking forward to being able to not only show you all that content, but honestly, see what they've done myself. There were definitely some quests at Act 4 that could not be completed. And just in general, the area looked undone. So being able to see not the final version, but just a more complete version of what their vision is for that act, I think is going to be exciting for all of us. I do have one caveat regarding the game, but before we get into that, let me remind everyone this is a channel where we're going to be talking about RPGs, Pathfinder, definitely going to be playing Mass Effect. If that's something that interests you and you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I definitely recommend you go ahead and do that. And if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and leave me a like down below. It really helps me pull more people into the channel and give my content more exposure. So my one caveat regarding this game is, before the update, I would say that this was a complete game. Dumbed down, didn't have a lot of the mechanics. There were some dialogue options that were empty, things of that nature. But for the most part, any quest that was presented to you, you could complete, right? That is not the case now that this update has released. And honestly, I would say that I consider the game considerably less stable now than it was before the update. It is a true beta at this point. I experienced multiple quest stopping issues. I got several quests in my log that are just not going to be able to be completed. Experienced issues from won't let me leave the map, won't let me exit a particular room. Mouse stopped working for some reason. I had to unplug it and replug it back in. All of these things have happened multiple times. Dropping through staircases, preventing me from talking to a character that I needed to speak to in order to move a quest forward. All sorts of just really, crazy things that were either not as prevalent before the beta update, or weren't happening at all. And so if you're going to get into it now, understand, again, it is a real true beta, not a full game that is just missing some content, which is the way I felt about it beforehand. But again, nothing to be worried about. That's the whole purpose of the beta. Work out bugs, work out issues, work out the kinks to make sure that is not the experience you have when the game comes out in September. So anyway, those are my thoughts regarding the beta update. I'll definitely release more videos about this, probably give you something that explains more of the Crusader mechanics and just some general showcasing of the new content. But I wanted to give you just a general summarization and breakdown. Hope you all enjoyed this. If you did, again, please leave me a like below, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.